Good morning. So again, here I am. And it's funny, I didn't even realize what shirt I was wearing. It just kind of glows. Free advertisement for the Baltimore Shakespeare Factory. The one of the best Shakespeare companies you've ever seen. If you get a chance, you can even look them up online, Baltimore Shakespeare Factory, and you will see one of the most beautiful stages that nobody knows about. So every time I riffle the cards, I just take myself a deep breath. It's been an interesting week full of major cards. Looking forward to seeing how we'll end up this Friday. Almost felt like there was a theme this weekend of pushing forward, moving forward. Just to get to the point where we are today. Another deep breath. And again, the point here is to find a focus for the day, see what the universe wants us to focus on. I like to remind myself that if it says to focus on things like anger or resentment or negative emotions, it gives me a chance to come up with alternatives so that today, when something happens, maybe I will already be aware of it, maybe I'll already be prepared for it, and I won't have to lash out or let it get to me personally. I can reflect on what I saw in the tarot this morning and take responsibility for my own feelings and not let other things trigger me into having a bad day. So that's part of the reason why I do the meditation and the focus in the morning is, what do I need to know to be able to learn from what goes on today? So I have split the cards into 3 stacks. And each one of these is a thread going out into the universe. If I pull on this thread, it's going to be one conversation. The top cards on this one's a totally different conversation, and this one's a totally different conversation. So I'm going to pull on the middle thread here to see what's on the inside. Let's see what we have for the day. I'm going to do my 3-in-1. Clear my mind. Let's see what we've got. Ooh, we've got the Hierophant. The 5 of Wands with the Hierophant looking at it. It looks like we're setting up for some type of a confrontation, maybe. So, let's just start out with the 5 of Wands. The 5 of Wands can be about conflict. So you have the stability of the 4s, and then you throw in this extra wand in here, this baton, and it can throw things off. But it's not like it's a difficult, or like a bad type of confrontation type thing. It's one of those things where you're in a room and everybody's got an opinion. It may be like at my house where I grew up, where the person with the loudest voice won. But it's about having different opinions, different thoughts, people coming at it with different ideas and trying to come up with a conclusion of something. And on the left we have tradition. We have, if it's a person, this would be like a mentor or somebody who's super knowledgeable that we can go to. But I'm thinking that since we have this conflict here, that we have a conflict of tradition, and on the right-hand side we have the Queen of Cups again. So the Queen of Cups has been coming up a lot lately. The Queen of Cups is about the emotions. It's about being able to care with a lot of feeling, a lot of strength to it. The Queen of Cups is strong, secure. She has a lot of empathy, but she's also carrying what looks like a sword there, which means you don't want to take advantage of her. So it seems like I'm seeing a conflict that may come up between what we know and what we feel. You know, we have the Pope here in the past, and these are important things that we learn. And so it's stuff that we could rely on in the past. It could be rules, it could be dogma, it could be things that we've just been taught. But the 5 is about change, about throwing that extra wand in there. And here I see the Queen of Cups, and she is just calmly looking at the past and saying, you know, maybe we need to look at this with a little bit more empathy, with a little bit more caring and concern, because the Pope is all about following the rules, the institution, SOP. And the Queen very much is not. The Queen is like, well, rules are important, but people are more important. And yeah, so Ro just said, for some reason, he sees two people playing a game of chess. And I can see that. I can see that this is 2 people on each side, and a choice needs to be made. Do we go with the old, or do we go with the new? Do we go with what we think is untold and always told is right, or do we go with what we feel is right? So I'm going to flip over the advice card, which is the 4 of Swords. And the 4 of Swords is about taking the time to reflect, not reacting. It's a time where we may have gone through some situations, and now we're at a point where we can stop and reflect. So what I'm seeing here for today is that we may feel that there is a conflict between the old and the new, the past and the present, what we know and what we feel. And not react today. I think what we need to do is make sure that, you know, we can expect that there's going to be this conflict. And it's not saying in this situation which one is particularly right, which one's not. If I was going to say one was more important than the other, I generally choose the one that's on the right. You know, we've got that linear time thing going on here. The one that's on the right, that I would say is the one that we want to focus on. But it's interesting because the Pope is looking towards the future. She's looking towards the past. So there is no right decision here, flat out, except for what you feel. So what I'm thinking is that a decision doesn't have to be made immediately. That we can take the time and meditate on it, reflect on it. What is more important? Sometimes it's not good to react with emotion. Sometimes it's good to have that foundation. Other times, the old has served its purpose, but it's time to move on. And you trust your instincts and you trust your feelings. The answer for today is pause, reflect, and go with the feeling that you think is correct. Don't make a quick, loud judgment. Don't be that center wand that says my way or the highway. Just say, you know what? There's a thought right here in the middle, that there's an issue, there's something going on right here in the middle. Let's come to an agreement. And let's figure out the best way to handle this for today. And as a couple people have pointed, yep, like a chess game. A chess game is where you sit back, and this is the chessboard where you need to make the decision. So that's swords. So Michael, 4 of wands, not swords. The wands are straight, the swords are curved. But the thing is also, sometimes I have to tell people is that sometimes the card that I see is not the card that other people see. So I should actually post that on my website. When I do a reading, sometimes I see a different card, and I've learned not to be embarrassed or something. All of a sudden, it's like I go with what I see. But yes, these are the swords. There you go, Mike. So with that, I'm going to say that today is just making a decision between the old and the new, and taking the time to see what's going to be best for us. So with that, thank you all very, very much.